Remember those shocking images of Donald Trump being portrayed inside a coffin in Tehran? Well, the message has now become even more aggressive. New anti-Trump billboards have appeared across Iran's capital, featuring the U.S. president in a coffin alongside threatening slogans as the conflict between Iran and the United States enters a dangerous new phase. Weeks after those viral visuals first grabbed global attention, Tehran is once again using giant public displays to send a political message. Fresh billboards seen across the Iranian capital show Donald Trump inside a coffin, while another carries a chilling warning directed at the U.S. president. One of the displays reads, "Hey terrorist, get ready to die," reflecting the increasingly hostile rhetoric as tensions continue to escalate. The imagery comes amid renewed military exchanges between Iran and the United States. These billboards are part of a broader tradition of political messaging in Iran, where large murals and public displays have long been used to communicate the country's position on international affairs. Donald Trump has remained a recurring figure in such campaigns ever since the 2020 killing of Iranian General Qasem Soleimani during Trump's presidency. For many within Iran's leadership, Trump continues to symbolize Washington's hardline approach toward Tehran. Against the backdrop of rising military tensions, the latest campaign reinforces Iran's anti-U.S. messaging and highlights how public displays have become part of the broader confrontation between Iran and Washington. According to Iran's Revolutionary Guards, they launched strikes targeting U.S. military assets across the Middle East. The announcement followed another night of U.S. bombardment of Iranian cities, extending the cycle of retaliation between the two countries. Any hopes of easing tensions have faded as both countries continue accusing each other of carrying out military operations across the region. As military action intensifies, public messaging inside Iran has become just as symbolic as the battlefield itself. The new billboards are widely seen as a political message directed at both domestic audiences and Washington. The latest exchanges represent one of the most serious confrontations between Iran and the United States in recent years. Regional allies have also been drawn into the crisis, with several countries increasing security measures amid fears that the conflict could spread beyond Iran's borders. International airlines have adjusted flight routes over parts of the Middle East, while governments continue issuing travel advisories as the security situation remains unpredictable. Although diplomatic channels remain active, there is little indication that either side is prepared to step back. Analysts warn that even a limited military miscalculation could trigger a much wider regional confrontation. The conflict is also beginning to affect the global economy. Oil prices surged following renewed concerns over shipping through the Strait of Hormuz. The Strait of Hormuz is one of the world's busiest energy corridors, with nearly 1/5 of global oil supplies passing through the narrow waterway every day. That means even limited disruptions can have an immediate impact on international energy markets, fuel prices, and shipping costs. Countries across Asia, Europe, and the Gulf closely monitor developments in the strait because prolonged disruptions could affect global supply chains. However, prices later eased after Iran's foreign ministry indicated that diplomatic channels remain open and mediators have continued presenting proposals to Tehran. While that offers a small sign that negotiations have not completely collapsed, military operations continue on multiple fronts. Financial markets remain highly sensitive to every new development, with investors watching both military activity and diplomatic efforts closely. Meanwhile, U.S. President Donald Trump has defended the latest American strikes. Trump said the attacks were carried out in response to recent Iranian operations targeting U.S. forces in the region. The conflict has also expanded beyond direct military targets. Attacks on desalination facilities have raised concerns over potential water shortages in parts of the Gulf, highlighting how civilian infrastructure is increasingly being caught in the crossfire. In another development, Bahrain's Civil Aviation Authority said Iran targeted the country's civil air navigation systems. Despite the attack, authorities said flight operations and air traffic continued normally. The latest escalation has also prompted renewed concern from governments across the world. Several international leaders have called for restraint, warning that further military action could destabilize an already volatile region. The United Nations has repeatedly urged all sides to return to dialogue, emphasizing that diplomacy remains the only sustainable path toward reducing tensions. Experts also point out that the information war surrounding the conflict has become almost as significant as the military confrontation itself. Images such as the Trump Coffin Billboards quickly spread across social media, amplifying their impact far beyond Iran's borders. Supporters view them as a symbol of resistance, while critics argue they further inflame tensions during an already dangerous period. From symbolic billboards showing Donald Trump in a coffin to missile strikes, threats, and growing regional instability, the confrontation between Iran and the United States is showing little sign of slowing down. Whether the coming days bring renewed negotiations or further escalation remains uncertain. But these chilling billboards are only one part of a much larger story. Here's what happened next. The United States and Iran have been locked in a decades-long rivalry, but this time the message is not coming from a government statement or a diplomatic warning. It is painted across giant walls in Tehran. New murals showing Donald Trump and his family inside coffin-like structures, along with the slogan "Blood for Blood," have sparked international attention. But what do these images really mean? Are they just political propaganda, or do they reflect deeper tensions between Washington and Tehran? Let's break it down. The controversy began after a massive mural appeared at Tehran's Palestine Square, one of the Iranian capital's most symbolic locations. The artwork reportedly shows U.S. President Donald Trump, his wife and First Lady Melania Trump, and other members of the Trump family inside coffin-shaped structures covered with the American flag. Behind them, the White House is shown surrounded by flames. Across the mural, a message stands out: "Blood for Blood." The phrase immediately drew global attention because of its connection to one of the most sensitive moments in U.S.-Iran relations. The slogan is widely linked to Iran's long-standing demand for revenge over the killing of General Qasem Soleimani. Soleimani, the commander of Iran's elite Quds force, was killed in a U.S. drone strike near Baghdad International Airport in January 2020 during the first term of Donald Trump's presidency. His death became one of the biggest flashpoints between the two countries, pushing tensions close to direct military confrontation. Since then, Iranian officials have repeatedly vowed that those responsible would face consequences. Many analysts believe the "blood for blood" message is a continuation of that rhetoric. The controversy grew further when another billboard appeared in Tehran's busy Vali-e-Asar Square. The display showed Trump trapped inside what appeared to be a concrete coffin with the message, "We kill Trump." Images of both displays quickly spread online, creating debate over whether they represented a direct threat or were part of Iran's broader political messaging strategy. The timing of these murals has added another layer to the controversy. They appeared as reports emerged about alleged threats against Donald Trump. According to reports, Israeli intelligence shared information with U.S. officials about a possible Iranian assassination plot targeting the U.S. president. Iran has denied accusations of planning attacks against Trump. However, the combination of intelligence reports and highly provocative public imagery has raised fresh security concerns. The Wall Street Journal reported that Israeli intelligence allegedly uncovered information about a renewed Iranian threat targeting Donald Trump and shared it with American officials. The New York Post also reported that Trump had previously discussed how the United States should respond if he were ever assassinated. While the claims remain disputed, they have brought renewed attention to the long-running conflict between Trump and Iran. Questions have also emerged about who created these displays. Reports suggest the murals are connected to the Oj Arts and Media Organization, an Iranian cultural group known for producing large-scale political and military-themed artwork. Over the years, Oj has created murals honoring Iranian commanders, criticizing Western governments, and promoting Iran's political messaging. The latest artwork appears to follow that same pattern, with Donald Trump becoming the central figure. Political murals have long played an important role in Iran's public messaging. Unlike official statements, murals use powerful imagery to communicate emotions, anger, and political positions. Supporters often see them as symbols of resistance. Critics argue that such imagery can encourage hostility and increase tensions. Either way, these murals have achieved their purpose, attracting global attention.
The controversy comes at a sensitive time. Relations between Washington and Tehran remain strained over sanctions, nuclear negotiations, military activity, and Iran's influence across the Middle East. In such an environment, even symbolic actions can have a major impact. A single image on a wall can influence public opinion and complicate already difficult diplomatic efforts. So, are these murals simply political theater, or are they sending a stronger warning? At this stage, there is no public evidence directly connecting the artwork to any operational action. However, the combination of violent imagery, security reports, and rising tensions has ensured that the murals are being watched far beyond Iran. For Donald Trump, this is not the first time he has faced alleged threats linked to Iran. Since ordering the strike that killed Qasem Soleimani in 2020, Trump has remained one of Iran's most controversial figures. Iranian leaders have repeatedly criticized the operation, while U.S. officials have warned over the years about possible threats against American officials. The latest developments have once again brought those concerns into focus. The murals have also triggered mixed reactions online. Some users viewed them as a direct message against Donald Trump. Others described them as part of a long-running propaganda campaign designed to project strength and rally domestic support. Regardless of interpretation, the images have succeeded in putting U.S.-Iran tensions back into the global spotlight. Experts say symbolism plays a major role during geopolitical conflicts. A mural may not change government policy, but it can shape public opinion and influence international conversations. In today's digital world, an image painted on a wall in Tehran can reach millions across the globe within hours. For now, neither Washington nor Tehran has announced any major policy shift following the murals. But with tensions already high, governments, intelligence agencies, and diplomats continue to closely monitor every development. Because in international politics, even symbols can carry serious weight. The United States and Iran have spent decades caught in one of the world's most complicated rivalries. Now, a series of murals, the slogan "Blood for Blood," and renewed reports of threats against Donald Trump have once again placed that rivalry in the spotlight. Whether these images are political theater, psychological warfare, or simply a display of defiance remains open to interpretation. But one thing is clear: when tensions run this high, every message, every image, and every headline matters.